In Stage 1, the future Berserker player has just started playing the game. He picked his magic, and he's probably using it in combination with his fist because he realizes that both are viable to use and can be used in conjunction to kill enemies fast. At this point, the Berserker player probably doesn't even know what classes are, and is just investing points into vitality because he thinks health is actually important in terms of stats. Alternatively, you knew about classes, and you actually thought this was a good decision because your brain is not functioning at high levels. At this point, the Berserker player actually has realized the DPS of weapons and fists far outscales that of magic without skills. Because of this early on, the future Berserker player starts ignoring magic in favor of the DPS that fists and weapons can provide. He rarely uses magic unless the enemy he's fighting is far away, and he almost exclusively punches things, but he will use weapons depending on how he's feeling in the moment. The Berserker player has realized at Stage 3 that the strength stat actually increases the damage his fists do. Alternatively, he realized that the weapon stat increases weapons damage and went along the path of a warrior, but that's for a different video. Anyway, the Berserker player has probably reset his stat points and started funneling literally all of them directly into strength, so he can have as much DPS as possible as he spams his mouse left click directly on top of any enemy or person he sees. At this point, the Berserker player has started getting to some of the harder bosses in the game. With all of their jumpy teleportation movements, he struggles in actually landing hits on them, and begins to get angry at the game, and then blame it on the game when he's the one who chose the minimum range fist-only class with mediocre skills that don't really do enough damage to make them worth using. After the anger has finally set in, the Berserker player has either given up on fighting whichever of the many bosses he got stuck on, or he decided to let someone else essentially carry him through the fight and any future bosses he has trouble with. Whichever it may be, the Berserker player has denounced the Berserker class as a whole, calling it trash and useless, as if he didn't know this when he started using it. He then starts experimenting with new classes, which are usually magic dependent as he doesn't want to fall in the same niche as spamming M1 with a weapon. The Berserker player, after spending some time on what is most likely a mage build, feels some sense of sadness or emptiness from playing a class that isn't Berserker. He doesn't realize what it is, but something about playing Arcane Odyssey is just making him upset, and he can't figure it out. It feels like something from this game is missing, and yet he doesn't know what it is. The Berserker player has finally started playing Berserker again. Although reluctant and he still plays other classes, he's finally coming back to Berserker and he finds himself enjoying the game, including his other class slots a lot more, now that he has the versatility of multiple builds and the ability to play as a Berserker again, which is clearly his favorite class, because it can't not be your favorite class if you're playing this piece of shit, garbage class. The Berserker main has finally come into acceptance with the fact that he mains not only the worst class in the game, but he's also the only person in the entire world who enjoys just clicking M1 and turning his brain off. Now that I think about it, it would make sense if Berserker mains actually just lack the brains required to be bored of just, clicking to fight things. Because realistically, Berserker players can't be that smart, because they're playing Berserker, which is not a fun class for most people. You kind of just click things. So, whatever. Because it's funny. The Berserker main now has one reason to justify his use of the worst class in the game. Because it's funny. Anytime you ask them any question about why they use Berserker, they're guaranteed to have the same response. Because it's funny. Why do you like Berserker? Because it's funny. Why do you think Berserker is a good class? It's not, but it's funny. At this point, it makes me believe Berserker players are a hive mind because they all say the same bullshit every time I talk to any of them. Why don't you play another class? Because it's funny. It's not funny. Who's laughing? Who is laughing about this? You? Are you laughing about your own joke? Are the voices telling you that joke? You're not funny. At stage 10, the Berserker player finally realizes why he likes Berserker. He gets an excuse to pound men like he always wanted to. Because all Berserker players that you see now and forever are gay. The reason why they don't bother blocking, parrying, or dodging and just spam M1 isn't because they're god-awfully terrible at the game, it's because they love the feeling they get every time they take a blow from a man's... Fuck, my voice cracked. You can't make fun of that. It's 6 a.m. It's because they love the feeling they get every time they take a blow from a man's powerful fist. Berserker players at this stage finally realize that they're gay as fuck, and they can accept that with pride, as they pound and get pounded for the rest of their natural life cycle. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, it's inspired by hamajineo, just like the last one. And yeah, tell me what class you guys want to see this done next on. I'm thinking like Conjurer or Warrior, because I want to do like every main stat build, you know? So like Berserker, Full Mage, Warrior, and then like Paladin when that becomes a thing. Or what is it called? Warden? It's Warden, sorry. So yeah, if you guys want me to cover like a specific class or like a fist style or like fist styles in general, just leave a comment and I guarantee you I'll see it. I read every comment, that's why they're all hearted. And I just also, that brings me on to a little mini rant. YouTubers are fucking assholes. Like, I see and read every comment, and people are like, oh, how do you do that? It must be so hard to filter through everything, because you have to do it on YouTube. No, you don't. On YouTube Studio, right, there's a comments tab that literally filters for comments you haven't responded to, which means that every time any YouTuber opens it, they will see every comment they haven't responded to by just scrolling, right? And as they respond to comments or heart them, then they'll disappear, right? Which means these fucks are just like lazy. They just don't want to read their comments. And, you know, I'm exposing all of YouTube right now because I'm like the only person in the fucking world who reads every individual comment and enjoys it. And if I heart your comment but I don't respond to it, it doesn't mean I didn't read it. It's just because I don't really know what to say to every comment. Like, some comments are just kind of like too much and they're too out there for me to actually like respond. Like, when people respond with paragraphs of things that they want to see or hear, it's kind of hard to like say anything to that, so it kind of just heart it. And then people will say, oh, you're an NPC in the comments, because all you say is true, no, skull emoji, and on God. But, like, I'm getting, like, 1,000 comments a video. I kind of have to be quick with it, you know? You guys just know I'm reading all your comments, I'm seeing all your comments, and give me your money, buy a YouTube membership, join my Discord in the description and comment section down below. And the incorrect summary of Arcane Odyssey is coming out soon. I hope you guys all have a great day, and goodbye.